Hello, my name is Nabil Alhamal. I am with CS-230 Section 2 at CSU East Bay for spring 2023. This is a this is a presentation for professional growth. I had to meet up with a group called Bay Area Streams. That's who I chose to meet up with. They are a meetup group. Their URL is listed below, and their description is basically, have you ever wondered how Netflix delivers movies to your home with a flick of a tile, or how Twitter keeps your tweets flowing to deliver you breaking news? Um, Essentially, they're looking for speakers, enthusiasts, hackers, and innocent bystanders to join them for food and drink in and around the Bay Area. The meeting that I joined was called Getting Started with Quantum Computing with a hands-on. This is the link that was provided, and it was on Wednesday, April 5th from 5 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. The organizer was Sonia Singh. She's a software engineer and program project manager. Her profile says that Sonia Singh is a technical community builder who has built global technical communities internally within IBM as well as for broad external audiences. Her profile is linked below. Christopher Burton was the presenter. He's a software engineer and IBM Quantum Ambassador. Christopher is a software engineer specializing in data science, quantum computing, and quantum machine learning. The rest of his profile is linked below. The the presentation initially began with Christopher asking the audience, the participants, to set up an IBM account at the link below. Once that was done, we followed Christopher's presentation to build circuits and also to write programs from quantum computers. So why quantum computers? Well, Christopher said that they are there to solve problems that classical computers cannot in a reasonable time with reasonable resources. An example he gave was simulating a molecule of caffeine would take the same number of bits as 1/10 of the atoms on the planet versus 160 logical qubits. So, what is quantum? He described it in two different ways. Well, he compared classical computers to quantum computers. First, describing classical computers as using bits that represent a 0 or 1 state, kind of like a light switch, and that bits are combined to make logic circuits in classical computers. Quantum computers, on the other hand, use quantum bits or qubits for short that represent value that is a combination between 0 and 1 in a sphere. Qubits are combined to make quantum circuits, and qubits are used to perform quantum computations. The hands-on lab part started with building circuits, and the gates that were used in the demonstrations are what's on the left side, and in the middle area were the combination of those gates to create an output. There's an open source learning available with all of this. IBM is sponsoring a majority of this. The textbook to learn about using IBM quantum computing is available at the link here. It's qiskit.org. And you can also create a free IBM account to practice quantum programming, which is what we did in this presentation. Also, if once you are adequately learned with quantum computing, you can get a certification through IBM for $200. And from what Christopher said, going through the textbook and learning a good amount could get you the ability to pass this exam. This presentation wasn't like other presentations at meetups that I've been used to. Essentially, it was one of those where there was a presentation and a Q&A section afterward, rather than a meet and greet type of event. So I was able to put a question in the chat, and Christopher was able to get to it. The question I asked was, how does getting certification help? And are employers looking for these skills? And Christopher responded that he was not hiring, but he's just a developer, but it is absolutely becoming a practical skill for industry as we saw the move towards quantum advantage become enterprise ready. At the moment, it's quite specialist employers that are looking for quantum skills. That is going to widen massively. Any sort of certification that shows you are practically skilled in quantum computing will put you ahead of the competition, so I would recommend it. This group seems to be associated with large tech companies, so IBM was only one of them. There were others that I saw on that list. They put on presentations that are relevant to needed future skills that developers should have. The session was very informative because I had no idea what quantum computers were or how to use them, and I got hands-on experience with following Christopher's examples. For future sessions, I would go again. Sonia and Christopher were very helpful, and there's no guarantee that they're going to be the same presenters in the future or that Sonia is going to host future events, but they were marvelous, and it was a good event for me to participate in. Um, I also participated in an IEEE club meeting on March 9th between 12:20 and 12:40. The meeting was short. On the agenda was an invitation to join IEEE, and that seemed to be the purpose of the meeting. The link was provided in the below. I also met Francisco Amezcua. Basically, he helped clarify a question about joining IEEE. There was apparently a discount, and he was able to help me find what that discount code was. He also answered a question about a future competition that was supposed to be set for April 16th, and I was able to basically give him an explanation of what project I've built in the past, and he said that is probably adequate. So I'm hoping to participate in that competition on April 16th. I have a question for Stack Overflow. I went to, because I am a student in CS-421, one of the projects required using data structures, but likely using the C language. And so I asked this comparison between C and C++ because I know C++ has STL standard libraries for data structures, if C had the same thing. The answer seems to be yes, they do, but it's a little bit difficult to use. So I ended up using C++ instead. I have a GitHub account since 2000 fall 2022 for for CS301 class. It's a data structures class. Um, I used it for basically version control, and that's what GitHub seems to be good for, is mainly version control, but also for writing wikis and connecting with other developers so that you can basically create a community and solve problems. So this semester I've learned how to write wikis on it that I never did before, and hopefully in the near future I'll learn how to use version control within a group project that I'm working on currently for this semester. All right, thank you for your time. That has been a presentation by me, Nabil Alhamal.